I was pretty close to playing in the last game, to be fair. I think if it was a test match or a World Cup semi-final, final, I would have played, but decided against it, give it an extra couple of days. But no, it feels good. And, it's been a strange old year or so. We haven't played any one-day cricket, so looking forward to playing a format that I enjoy playing.
No doubt you're exceedingly keen to play given this the final match of the series.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's, in terms, obviously it's nice to have wrapped up the series, but there's still World Cup points on offer to try and qualify for that World Cup. So there's no dead rubbers. It has a bit of context, but as we've seen throughout the whole summer, teams that have come out of quarantine have, it has taken them a couple of games to get ready, and I'm sure we had a bit of luck that go our way in the last game, and I'm sure Bangladesh will want to finish the one-day series on a high note.
You're pretty confident in hamstring will be back?
You can only do as much as you can, I suppose. You can be fully fit and things go, but no, I feel confident enough.
Where are you at in terms of with your mentality? Obviously, you weren't in the selected the T20s series coming up. You've got the Test series against England a little later on. Are you sort of now focusing or resigned to the fact that maybe you're just going to be playing two formats now? Yeah,
I think I've still got ambitions on that 2020 World Cup. I think there's still a lot to go. The selectors have wanted to give these guys an opportunity, and which is fair enough. This format, especially in New Zealand, is a good way of getting these guys into international cricket if they're not going to play a lot of one-day cricket or Test cricket. 2020 is the logical way of bringing them into the side. Where the World Cup is, a lot of the guys that are in that team have never played in the subcontinent. It's definitely different to playing, in New Zealand where the ball's not turning and having to come out to bat at 2 or 3 down for not many. It's totally different doing that here in New Zealand than overseas. So, there are a lot of games overseas for these guys to get exposed to, but obviously there's injuries and form and whatnot. But at the same time, it's a good time to expose them in those conditions leading into a World Cup in 2023 to see what they're about.
So that T20 World Cup for you still a relatively big thing?
I'll be available. COVID, 20 players to get sent over there, you never know. Vaccine works. You only need to send 15. There's still a lot of things to go, a lot of injuries, and a lot of cricket in the winter. So I'm here.
The first 2 games of this series been a pretty rare occasion where both you and Kane haven't been available for whatever reason, but how impressed have you been with Devon and Will stepping into that 3 and 4?
Yeah, they've been consistent performance for Wellington and CD over the years, and it's nice for them to get an opportunity. Devon's played very well throughout his whole international career to date. He's learning. As he said in the last game, I think just facing those offies, he's having to work out a plan, and sometimes that's what international cricket's about. You can be prepared as much as possible at domestic level until you actually are exposed to it. You have to come up with a game plan, and I think he's working out his best way of approaching that, and that can only benefit him going forward as a player.
That second ODI had Kyle Jamieson got another demerit point for those of us who aren't really in and around
Did he?
all the time. Is that?
I don't even know.
Is that a common thing? Is that a rarity?
I don't know I don't actually know how the demerit points are. Touchwood, I've gone my whole career without one, so I'm not sure. How much did he get?
Just the one, yeah.
Oh, so he got. So he didn't get any money taken off him. Oh, he's all right. He's okay.
You wouldn't have, I guess it's quite rare to play international white ball cricket out on baseman reserves. Is it something you've done before?
I can remember playing one game. I'm not sure, one, maybe 2 games. Pakistan. We played 2, did we? And I can definitely remember playing one. I think I played another one. If I don't get any runs, then I obviously don't remember it.
You love playing it?
Yeah, I do. It's one of the first grounds that I watched domestic cricket at, apart from Queen Elizabeth Park in Marston. So it's just a little, drive over the hill for the family to come and watch, and can't beat Wellington on a good day. So hopefully it's a good one tomorrow.
How would you stop that? Your style, are you going to adjust that at all? Is it going to be a chance to be aggressive? You have been aggressive anyway, but be aggressive on the field and perhaps prove a point as well tomorrow?
No, not at all. I don't feel like I have anything to prove at this part of my career. One-day cricket is a format that I feel like I've done well in the past and been consistent at. And, it's not an opportunity to show where I'm at 2020 wise. Sum up the situation and bat accordingly. That's what I try and do, whether it's Test match, one day cricket, or 2020s, and that won't change. I would have thought going tomorrow or going forward.
How did you initially, that conversation initially with Gary about your admission from the T20 squad, how did that go, and how did you react in sort of the weeks after that, and where are you at now?
Yeah, I mean, it was a bit of a surprise getting Player of the Year and facing 4 balls. I'm not going to lie, but you know, you got to respect their decision and whatnot. And as I said, this is a format to give the guys an opportunity to play. You know, I don't feel age is just a number. I feel like I'm able to do a job if required. As I said, there's a lot of cricket to be played over the winter, and I feel, you know, the guys aren't going to go on that whole tour, so I'll be around somewhere.
How do you gauge with where you're at? Obviously you haven't played for the Black Cat for a while, but you have been playing for CD. Where do you think your game's at with this in mind as well?
Yeah, I feel all right. I think when you play so often, you get into some bad habits, and I felt like after the 2020 competition, it was nice to go back and work on your game a bit more, and you know, not necessarily just the rest of the season, but obviously the English conditions as well. We'll just work out tomorrow if you can work out where I've improved on, and you know, made little tweaks. And sometimes when you do those, you know, it just takes a little bit of time to groove it in. But no, I feel comfortable.
Is there some similarities between Kane at 3 and Devon Conway at 3, do you think? Similar sorts of batsmen, similar?
One's right-handed, one's left.
Apart from
I think it's a totally different. I think you're not comparing apples with apples there. You've got one guy who's coming in at 29 and knows his game very well. Kane came in and played from the age of 20, and both are learning at that role. You know, I can remember a few years ago asking about Devon, and the Wellington players I talked to said that this is his best format, one-day cricket. So yeah, to compare them both is probably unfair.
In light of the injury, after this game, what's the plan? Will you, because Central District's still at some games, so...
Yeah, we'll just have to wait and see. They're looking forward to the end of the season. I've been on the road since July in the Caribbean Premier League. So whenever the season does finish, I'm looking forward to a break.
What you've seen of the Bangladeshis, do you think that you've got your eye out for, or concerns you tomorrow?
I think, as we saw, I don't think they were that far away in the last game. They take a couple of those catches at a crucial time, you know, around the late 30s, early 40 overs. We would have been under pressure with guys coming in, and they haven't had a lot of cricket. So they'll be, you know, looking forward to that. They're always a dangerous side, regardless of where they are, but they're definitely, you know, if we were to play them in Bangladesh, you know, that side would be even more, you'd have to be even more wary of them. You know, they're a good side on those slower conditions, and if anything, there was pretty slow-ish wicket in Christchurch.
I'll change the subject slightly with the news that the government says that those representing New Zealand will be eligible to get early vaccination. Your reaction to that? I mean, what did it say to tour of England?
Yeah, I mean, still don't know the ins and outs of it. We'll just be gauged on the government and what New Zealand Cricket come up with, to be fair. There hasn't been a lot of discussion with the team, but you know, yeah, I think we don't want to jump ahead of the most vulnerable people that need it, but you know, we'll just have to wait and see.
Can I just ask if you would have any hesitation in getting the vaccination, because, you know, in the Pacific Island community there is some reticence and perhaps caution when it comes to that sort of thing?
Yeah, to be fair, I haven't really thought about it. You know, once it's clear on what the procedure is going to go forward, and if we do get offered it, I'll come up with a decision there. But I'll be more worried about my hammy at the moment, unfortunately, than the vaccines.
Just talking about CPL, have you got a deal this year, or is that still?
No, I don't know. CPL's they make decisions last minute, so we'll just have to wait and see.
You're no keen to go back though?
Normally it's on when our tours are on, so I couldn't imagine New Zealand cricket players being available to go over this season.
Can I, sorry, just to clarify though, you would be whatever New Zealand cricket sort of decides as far as the batsman is concerned, you would go with that, or it would be a personal decision for you?
I think it's a personal decision for everybody. I think you've got to get all the facts and things first and foremost. As I said, I haven't discussed it with anyone, but I think it's up to the individual to make that decision. And as I said, I haven't come up with my decision yet because I haven't really thought about it. It's come pretty quickly.
Thank you, mate. Thanks, Ross.